20 editions after the printing press was invented 150 years later. Indeed, the game has always served as a mirror of intellectual and societal evolution, and often as a precursor of important developments. Before Customs of Men, for example, it had been a religious lesson. The pieces came out of the same bag, sprang to life for a while during the game, and then all went back into the same bag together. Regardless of your worldly situation, a return to God from whence you came leveled the experience. Later, chess prophesied political developments. Perhaps its most prescient moment came in the late 1700s when the great French player Philidor observed that pawns are the soul of chess. That was as revolutionary a thought for chess theory, sparking a profound reevaluation of proper play, as it was about to be in French politics. If Marie Antoinette had just checked out the Café Régence, trendy hotspot of the chess world, she might have been a little less cavalier in her unfortunate suggestions about dietary substitutions. Even social moods and customs have been played out on the board. The swashbuckling, territory-conquering 1800s gave rise to the Romantic period in chess, during which no self-respecting man's man would fail to offer a risky gambit or to accept one. Next came the Classical period, which rejected these unsound romantic ideas in favor of a model featuring rigorous rules about the proper way to play, which very much echoed the staid mores of Victorian England. Then came a surprising pas de deux between science and chess. At the end of the 19th century, scientists were concluding that Newtonian physics had essentially answered all the big questions, and that the discipline had no future. At the same time, grandmasters lamented that all the secrets of the chessboard had been found. World champion Emanuel Lasker complained that the game had been studied so much that all the correct moves were understood. And then, earthquakes hit both disciplines. Albert Einstein's miracle year of 1905 upended Newtonian classicism with his theory of relativity and the idea of the quantum, later spawning the uncertainty principle, a concept relevant to this book. The chess echo came from the hyper-modernists of the 1920s. Steinitz, the chess world's Newton, had long before set down the universal law that early occupation of the center of the board was the key to winning chess games. But the hyper-modernists dared their opponents to do just that, while they sat back and attacked from the wings and corners. This shocking challenge to orthodoxy proved just as influential to chess theory as relativity would to physics. At the same time, similar revolutions arose against classicism in art, theater, and government. One of those, the Russian Revolution, intensified the interplay between human events and the formerly royal game when the Soviets seized the game as a symbol of communist superiority. The Soviet school successfully produced a tide of dreary, oppressive technocrats who dominated world play for decades. The style was built on the excruciatingly slow buildup of pressure, incrementally overpowering opponents while taking no risks. Then, once again playing political pundit, the game signaled the beginning of the end of the Cold War when Bobby Fischer unseated Boris Spassky as champ in 1972, an event second only to the miracle on ice for sporting ignominy in Russia. Although the old Soviets were able to regain control of the game briefly when Fischer abdicated his throne, believing among other things that Martians were sending radio signals to the fillings in his teeth, the coup de grace was ultimately delivered from within by Garry Kasparov, an Azerbaijani Jew who was the antithesis of the regime personally, politically, and stylistically. Even though Kasparov was indisputably the greatest player in history, his outsider status generated overwhelming state resistance. The KGB spied on his match preparations to better equip his opponents, and the Russian government conspired with the World Chess Authorities to cancel a world championship match just as he was about to pull off the greatest comeback in sports history. He overcame these obstacles to become the ultimate anti-Soviet champion and fittingly reigned over the chess world as the old order collapsed. His current political activism is just a continuation of his brave career. Chess has thus always mirrored and even predicted civilization's dominant themes, especially given the fundamental